What happens when we die? Is there an afterlife? Do we go to heaven? Or even worse, hell? Can we communicate with the dead? And if we can, should we? Let's find out.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 15 of San Pedro Paranormal. This is going to be the not so paranormal episode. I'm here with my co-host Carlos, as always.
Hey, what's up?
The technician. And today's episode, it's going to be a little different because we're not going to just be talking about paranormal stuff, but we're going to be talking also about our town. Not just our town, but the stuff that's going on right now, around the world and stuff, with the whole, the pandemic and, it's crazy right now. It's crazy right now. I mean, you watch the news right now and everything is like, you have your people on the right, people on the left, people saying that, that we should go back to normal, people saying that we shouldn't go back to normal, but so we're gonna be talking about stuff like that. But anyways, how was your week, Carlos? I know you're happy it's Friday because today we're actually gonna be drinking beer during the filming of this episode. Episode brought to you by what are you drinking?
I am drinking Smog City beer. Smog City is in Torrance, and this is it right here. This is what I'm drinking. It's an IPA.
Oh, nice. City.
And this one's called Amarilla Gorilla Indian Pale Ale. Juicy tropical hot bomb. Very good.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah, and I'm just drinking your very basic Stella Artois. But
as long as we can see you going wherever you need to go.
Yeah. So how was your week, Carlos? Everything went good, smooth?
Everything went great. Smooth, easy. I mean, I'm just reading, taking care of projects around the house, just trying to entertain myself right now.
Mm-hmm. I know. I saw that you've been staying busy. Building furniture, building video game consoles, and all kinds of crazy stuff, which is cool.
Yeah. I try to finish these projects as fast as I can. I guess I try, but sometimes you run out of material. The one project that I was starting or almost finishing actually was a second table, and me and my brother Victor, we got together and we started, putting the table and putting the base on the bottom, but we couldn't put the legs at all because we were missing some carriage bolts. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Home Depot and do that. And then so that one got kind of like pushed to the side right now. And now I'm working on 10 little arcade machines.
Oh, nice.
With a it's like recycled laptop part. So it has a recycled laptop screen inside. It's gonna have a Raspberry Pi, and it's gonna be pretty neat once it gets done and complete.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was telling Carlos that I actually also ordered some something called Retro Stick on that's it's been advertised a lot on Facebook right now. I'm pretty sure you've seen it, right? Like they call it's like different companies selling it, but it's all like it's imported from China, I think, right?
Yeah, there's different types. There's that one you're talking about, Retro Stick. There's the Pandora box, and there's a few others. And the convenience thing about this is it's easy, right? You don't have to lug around a big arcade machine wherever you go, right?
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe on the next episode I'll talk about that. How if it was worth the $40.
Yeah, you could probably play some games on there. Maybe there's a couple of retro games on there, like Ghostbusters or any of those little haunted games that are on there.
Well, you know what? The only reason I got this Retro Stick was because it has a game that I've been wanting to play for a long time, and I don't know if it's in the new NES, the mini, right. But I never got to purchase one of those. So I'm like, you know what? I saw on the commercial on the Facebook that on Facebook that that they were playing that game. It's called Kung Fu from the NES. Where you're just it's like a side like a 2D game.
That's a fun game. What I really find that memorable about that is it's just you're side scrolling, right, and you're trying to defeat the bad guys.
Yeah.
And ninja stars flying at you. Yeah. Is there a song to that, or it's just all silent? I don't remember that.
No, there's a little sound that goes dun 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 dun. It sounds almost like But you know what? That's the only reason I spend the $40 just for that one game. If the Retro Stick just came with that one game, I still would have purchased it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm too lazy. I'm not like Carlos. I'm not gonna build a whole thing. But yeah, dude. You know what? I've been staying busy too. I actually did end up going to Home Depot because I needed some stuff from we're not too far from a Home Depot here in San Pedro.
Right.
And I've been doing some stuff around the house, building shelves but the what was it? There was something I went to get this last time. But anyways, when I went, the line just to get in, was I think I waited like 40 minutes just to get into Home Depot.
Oh my god.
And then wearing a mask and standing in the sun. Oh man, it wasn't even worth it. I shouldn't have gone.
That's what I'm trying to prevent from going to Home Depot, is that kind of stuff. But right now we're kind of winding down the ride. We're already over we're flattening the curve, and now we're getting close to that. Is it the May 19th deadline or 15th? I forget what it is.
I don't even know.
Yeah, but I don't know. It depends though. I don't know if they're gonna extend it or not.
You know what? I feel like I've been home for like 3 months now. I know it's only been like what has it been, like 1 month?
Yeah.
But it feels like 3 months, trapped at home. But yeah. So the lines at the stores, Target, because we have gone to Target and like the market, and some of the stores, they're okay, but others, man, just the wait is crazy. Yeah. And then everybody seems to be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, especially like the workers, the register workers and stuff, having to, the way they handle the customers now is, one customer takes like 5 minutes now instead of before, just everything so, real quick.
Right.
So I understand, why they're so frustrated.
You're right, because things aren't the way they are. Things aren't normal or so. As a person comes through, there's just a whole new procedure. I went to the store like about a week ago or so, and you have to grab your items and put them in a basket, and then you have to bag them outside in certain stores. Which I thought was kind of weird. Yeah. But you know what? I just did as I'm told, because I just want to get in there, make sure everybody's safe, and this thing doesn't get transferred over.
Yeah. I saw something like that happen to one of the ladies that was behind me. She actually took her own bags. I didn't know you couldn't take your own bags. They don't let you take your own bags, like recycle, like the reusable bags.
Oh no, not at all.
So the lady like starts walking in, the security comes right away and like takes her out, like, hey, get out of the store. I'm like, what's going on? But,
I've seen a couple of people have been turned away because they didn't come in to the store with the mask on. They'd be stopped right at the entrance. Like, sorry, you got to either put your mask on or go home and get it, or don't even come in here at all. Yeah. So they're really cracking down on people doing that.
Yeah. And you know what? Just going to the store, like you were saying about how, you have to be safe with everything. Just going to the store has become a mission. Like when we go to the store, because, my 3 kids are at home right now. My son's home from college. So when we go to the store, we have to, bring a lot of food and stuff. But when we get home, we have to, like, take the stuff out of the car in a basket, take it in one basket at a time, wash everything, dry everything, put stuff away, then go back to the car, get more stuff. Man, I'm kind of done with that. I'm done with this. I want this to be over.
I think I'm worse because I actually set up a table outside, and then I put a piece of like tape in the middle, and I put the contaminated stuff, which comes from the store, on one side, and what I have is Lysol and spray, and I clean everything, or alcohol, and then I move everything from the contaminated side over to the clean side. So I'm just scrubbing everything down.
Yeah, and you know what I started doing? Like when we buy like small amounts of things, I'll actually go to the car, take a basket. And we ran out of alcohol. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to find like cleaners, like bleach, alcohol, stuff like that. So what I do, I ended up going to Trader Joe's up on Western, and they were selling these vodka bottles for I think $3. So I bought a bunch of them, and I've been using it as cleaner. I put it in spray bottles with like half water, half vodka, and I'll go to the car, spray one thing, wipe it down, spray the next thing, wipe it down.
If you need alcohol, I have some. I have the crazy stuff, the 99% alcohol one.
Yeah.
Very, very dangerous. So if you want some, you can stop by.
All right. You get to spray me down before I. Yeah, but you know what? I'm kind of burning out on this whole situation. I hope everything goes back to normal soon. And you know what? I don't know if you guys were watching the news today. Today's May 1st. They were showing on the news how like people are like I don't know if you saw this. They're like starting like a whole like a protest of like they want the beaches to be open and everybody's trying to force this to force it to come to an end. But I don't know. This might like backfire on us, and we're gonna end up back at the beginning. So.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword. People want their freedom. They want to go out and enjoy themselves. A lot of people out there are still working. The ones that aren't working, they want to get out of the house. And the beach is like, that's why you live over here by the coastline. You want to go to the beach and have a good time.
Yeah.
But there's a group that says you can't do that because there's a virus going around that spreads very easily. It's highly contagious. Yeah. And even if you don't have any symptoms, you can still be a carrier and give it to the elderly, give it to the people that have a low immune system. Mm-hmm. And so there's this big battle going on right now, like what's going to happen. So I guess the governor of California just said that no beach should be open now. And that went against the superseded the authority of the counties of Orange County, I believe, because they were still having the beaches open. So I guess there's a little bit of animosity because people really want to get out there and enjoy their lives, but right now it's just like sacrifice. Yeah. Sacrifice a little longer.
Man, I don't know. I mean, if we have to do this all over again, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. Yeah. But
the good news is that I think there's a couple of companies. I think I forget what the college is, Oxnard or Harbor. I'm sorry, I don't have the information, but supposedly they're coming out with an actual vaccine, and it's going to be out here before the end of the year. So that's kind of nice. I think that's kind of nice. So
I mean, but then you think about stuff like that, like vaccines that are new. What are going to be the side effects? What are the long-term side effects of this stuff? Just because we don't want to follow the rules. If we all just followed the rules, it'd just be over.
Yeah. A side effect will put you in danger, but I mean, there's already something out there that's dangerous.
Yeah, and you know what? This reminds me a lot of there was because I was brought up very religious, and I know I brought this up in a past episode. My parents were big into religion, and this reminds me of one of the things in the Bible of I don't know if you remember this, Carlos, but there was a part in the Bible where the Israelites are in the desert with Moses or something, and they're all happy because I guess God said no meat for a certain amount of time, and and God was feeding them other things, but they got to the point where they're like, no, we want meat, and so God's all like, all right, so they gave them the meat, but then it just ended up like poisoning everybody. So I kind of feel like we're at that point where like we're gonna try to force to get our way, and it's gonna backfire. It's gonna bite us, But,
yeah, because some people feel like they've been inconvenienced. I mean, in the Bible, you're going against the word of God, and that's a big no-no. I think what's his name again? What's the famous Moses? He kind of did that, right? He went against God in a way, and he got banished into Israel, right?
That's right.
Now people are like, oh, well, we're inconvenienced. We can't go outside or anything like that. But they feel like it's their freedoms being violated, which maybe or maybe not. But
yeah, and you know what?
Rabbit hole. Like,
and you know what? People have been comparing this to another thing in the Bible where the Israelites were in Egypt. Remember that?
Right.
And then God, I guess, told everybody that they had to stay inside their homes and mark the outside of their homes with like the blood of a goat or something.
Right.
And you had to stay inside the whole night, and you'd be safe.
Right.
But then there was those people that were like, no, I don't think so. I'm gonna go out, and like all kinds of people ended up dying.
They either went out or they didn't mark, and they still died in their homes or outside.
Yeah.
But
we're humans. We're hard headed.
Maybe we're pushing it with the religious thing here, but
yeah, and I'm just saying what a lot of people are comparing right now to to what's going on right now. But
yeah, and then people, another thing you can compare to is people want their rights. They want to go out and enjoy their freedom, and of course, how long is that freedom going to last if you get sick? But besides that, you're going against the government. You're saying, I'm not going to fall for that government trap or whatever that law. I'm going to go out and I'm going to protest. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you're going to get sick. This is going to happen. And then you start talking about maybe even deeper stuff like, well, you know what? There's like the 10th Amendment, I believe. It gives states the rights over the federal government on certain things. And this is one of those matters where the state says you have to stay inside your house. You can't go to the beach, but it's just one of those political things too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get into anything political here or too religious, but I mean,
you know what? The thing is, there's a lot of people out there that think this is fake. The whole virus thing is fake. And let's say it is fake. Let's say it's 50-50. It might be fake, it might be real. But I mean, you're gonna risk, your life and risk other people's lives. That's the thing that kind of upsets me. That you're willing to just like, oh well, if people die, they die. But yeah. But anyways, Carlitos,
you have to take the side of, hey, I wanna sacrifice now for my life later, and for everybody else's life later. But at the same time, you kind of have to feel for those people that haven't been working at the same time too. It's like I need more than the $1,200 that they gave me.
True.
And some people didn't even get that either. So they're like, oh, I got to go back to work. I got to do something. I got to get out and work for a living and make sure my bills are paid and everything else. So that's
well, see, like that I understand. People that are like they're under pressure because of financial reasons. Right. But people that just want to go to the beach to swim, it's like, come on. But anyways, let's talk about something else.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let the professionals discuss this.
Yeah. That's too complicated for me, anyways. But anyways, so you were telling me that you did a little more research on the whole what is it, those spirit kids that push cars and stuff, or?
No, actually, I wish I would have.
That and you know what? That was sorry, Carlitos. That was last week's episode, the Helping Hands. Carlitos decided that he wanted to investigate, the whole thing a little more.
No, but what I did stumble upon, since this is a not so
paranormal episode,
I did stumble upon a couple of graveyards or cemeteries actually that have been abandoned or neglected. And these are in the South. I believe some of them are in Georgia. I want to say maybe Alabama, but I think Georgia comes to mind.
Okay.
And came across this one channel where he treks around and hikes, and this guy came across this one cemetery that had a lot of gravestone, a lot of what do you call it, burial sites with what do you call them again? The stone.
The tombstones.
Tombstone, sorry. My mind's not here. Maybe it's the soup. I think I'm having a little too much soup.
You gotta slow down on the soup.
Yeah, the tombstone is they're there, and some of them are broken, missing. It's kind of hard to see the names, but it's pretty much a whole cemetery in this forest area on a slope that's been abandoned for a long time. And there's bushes and trees and roots growing all over the place. And what happened was, what this is actually is, it's a cemetery for pretty much Black Americans back in the day, from the maybe the 1800s, but most of the people that are buried here are from World War II. Some people from the Vietnam War, even kids. So pretty much looking at 1950s, 60s. 70s and 80s, and I think it's maybe there's one or two until like 2001 or so.
Okay.
But it's just crazy how there's all these markers everywhere, and you just or not even a marker, you just walk across and you just trip on something like, oh, here's another tombstone.
And that place is haunted.
The sad part about this is that it's been neglected. There's just brush everywhere. The rain is coming down, and the rivers are not the rivers, but the rainwater's coming down, and it's pretty much eroding everything.
Oh, okay. And this place is haunted, right?
No, this is not so paranormal episode.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
It's not haunted, but the nice thing about this is that I guess a lot of people have seen this guy's YouTube channel, and they've seen this place, and they're actually going out there and they're volunteering, and they're cleaning up the cemetery. They're making sure everything's nice and neat and organized, and they're giving the respect to the dead there. Okay. So I think it's nice.
Kind of like remodeling, kind of.
Oh, kind of like that. And because they were so neglected, there's actually a pretty good little quote or a little saying that the gentleman in the video says that when you pass away, when you die, you actually die twice. The first time is your actual physical death, and the second time you die is when people no longer say your name.
Oh, it's kind of like the movie Coco.
Oh, okay.
Did
So
you have
maybe
you
that's
seen
where I
that?
got it from.
Have you seen Coco or no?
No, I haven't seen Coco.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, okay.
That's how it works too, where you die like in the physical form, and then eventually, once the last person that dies that knows you or remembers you or says your name, that's when you die the second time.
Yes.
And that's why, in the Mexican tradition, they do the little altars with the pictures for the Dia de los Muertos to remember those people, so they don't die that second time.
It's like
which is pretty interesting. Which is pretty interesting.
And they offer certain things too, right?
Which is pretty, it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about that, the Dia de los Muertos, my mom when she was little in Mexico, she would tell me how, they would, like you said, they would go to the cemetery, and they would put candles and take food, and she would say how like not just her but other kids, after the parents would leave, they would go and like eat the food and and all that stuff. But
little pranksters.
Yeah, but Coco's a good movie. Watch it if you haven't seen it. It kind of explains everything in a fun, cartoony way.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right. That's crazy. But that's
so,
go ahead.
So that's pretty much the extent of the research that I found. Oh, there's one part of that. It's like he's going through all these different graves, and some of them have been risen because they were shallow, or the erosion kind of wiped the dirt away. So he's trying to look at some of the names, and he kind of steps on top of the caskets or the tombstones, the tomb.
Okay.
Because I don't mean any disrespect. Sometimes I have to get up here and I have to go up on top to clean out and see who a person's name is, which I know I totally get, right?
Yeah.
He's just trying to clean off the area and so forth. But the thing that really kind of made him mad, and when I saw this, it kind of made me a little mad too, which was they went back to the site later on to that abandoned cemetery.
Okay.
And someone had just installed a piece of like black conduit going across. And this piece of conduit started from the beginning and went all the way to the forest somewhere. But below it were all the plots, all the tombs. Mm-hmm. So somebody went in there and installed cable, either whether it was cable TV or Ethernet, whatever it was, and they put it on top without giving a damn, which I thought was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
I had to agree with the person making that YouTube video.
Yeah.
That was very disrespectful. It was put right on top of it.
Yeah. And I mean, the cool thing is that, with this guy making these videos, that it didn't happen like, when the movie The Conjuring came out, and they were talking about why the house was haunted and that a witch was buried at a local cemetery. They started having people go to that cemetery and vandalizing everything.
Wow.
So kind of the opposite of what happened with this guy's videos. But
right.
Yeah, it's sad when people destroy stuff like that. I mean, just here in town, I don't know if you saw the San Pedro Facebook, where how we had an artist go and paint all those like electrical boxes on 9th Street and 13th Street.
Nice.
And someone went and tagged over one or two of the paintings, which is, I don't know. I don't understand people sometimes, but yeah. But anyways, guys, welcome to the Not So Paranormal episode. Yeah. But you know what, San Pedro, for those people that haven't been here, we live right here on the port of LA. We have our Cabrillo Beach, we have the coast, we have the Korean Bell, that's pretty well known.
It's a nice place.
Yeah. And you know what, our town used to be, I was just watching some videos that I recorded back when I was like 19, 20 years old. And I used to go cruising. Me and my friend George, the one that's in New Mexico, shout out to George. We used to go cruising from the freeway, the 110 freeway, and go all the way down to the Korean Bell and cruise the coast.
Yeah.
And I recorded all that.
That was fun. Oh, nice.
I recorded all that. And when you're driving down that whole the main street, it's all clean, and now we have like a homeless epidemic going on here. It's every 2 blocks there's like a encampment, and It's crazy. It's. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gotten pretty bad here, and I'm pretty sure it's not just San Pedro. It's probably other towns too. Which
it's the city of LA and this area here in California. I mean, whether they're from California or they're coming from another state, they just decide to live here because it's perfect weather in a way.
Yeah. And I think most of the people that live here in San Pedro, all the locals, we're just too nice, Yeah, you're like always trying to help someone out, and I think that's why they come here, because they're like, oh, people will give us money and stuff. But yeah, it's sad. I mean, hopefully things change, and I know right now with technology with the port, there's supposed to be a lot of things changing at the port too, and and also the remodeling they're doing, where they tore down all kinds of businesses and stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully for the better, things change around here, and the town goes through another resurrection, and we get businesses in here, and we get a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
And give Pedro that little distinct feel that it's had. Just amplify it.
Yeah, because you know what, San Pedro has we have a lot of good stuff here. A lot of like food, really good food.
Definitely.
From Italian food, Raffaello's, to Busy Bee sandwiches. They've been there forever. Busy Bee sandwiches, Sandwich Saloon.
Oh yeah, Sandwich Saloon.
Man, a lot of good. Bonello's Pizza. New York style. Yeah, so.
And we got a couple of new ones on 6th Street too, right?
Sebastian's Mediterranean food.
Yeah.
Have you been there? Have you been to Sebastian's or no?
No, not yet.
So good.
But I've been to the new noodle place on 6th Street. They have one, I think, a sister restaurant in Torrance, and it's really good noodles. You guys should check it out. Very delicious noodles there.
Yeah, check out Sebastian's. I think that one's on 7th Street. Sebastian's. Then we have also that new Thai food place on, I think it's been there for a little while now, but on 25th Street, Serenat Thai food. Oh man, good stuff. And they have a nice bar. They have a really nice, really good beer.
Because I like them. I like Burmy on 6th Street. Burmy, whatever that is. That place is pretty good. But I want to check out this place on 25th Street, see how it is.
Yeah. But so San Pedro has a lot to offer. But not only haunted houses. There's a lot more of that than.
Not only haunted houses and crackheads. We have a lot more than that.
Yeah, we have good people, good food.
Definitely.
You know what? I was talking to a person. And I don't know her name. I actually went to what do you call it? A yard sale. Oh, that day I went to Home Depot. Right next to the Home Depot, behind the Home Depot, there was they were having a big yard sale. So I stopped by, because I collect movies, and this lady was selling Laserdisc, and she actually let me have a Laserdisc player for free. So yeah, but what was it? What was I gonna? I don't even know where was this going.
The nice people of San Pedro.
Yeah, but yeah, I got some movies, a free Laserdisc player, and that's what I was gonna talk about. The lady, she was actually telling me that there's a psychic in San Pedro that she went to see, and that she told her that San Pedro is like that there's a vortex here. And that's why that's why people that live in San Pedro aren't able to leave. When they leave, they end up coming back. Yeah, and that's why we also have a lot of because San Pedro has a lot of UFO sightings. In the ocean, and there's been a few videos on Facebook recently about UFOs and stuff. So that's what the lady said, that there's a vortex, and that's why, there's so much paranormal UFOs, and why people, they can't leave San Pedro. And
why people can't leave San Pedro? Why?
Yeah, and you know what? I think I'm one of those persons, because I can never imagine leaving San Pedro.
Yeah, I'll probably get homesick, but I mean, it would be nice to travel and live somewhere else for a while, but. At the same time, this place has charm, has character.
Yeah, that's called a vacation.
A long vacation.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but let's see. What else can we talk about, Carlos?
Well, are there anything new? Is anything new coming up around maybe where the old postal call used to be, or are there any new buildings being built?
Oh yeah, that's right. We have Portugal, and you know that one. A lot of people come. I know. There's people that have been that have been to San Pedro just for the fish market.
Yeah.
You know, they'll come from like 5-6 hours away just to go to the fish market. And you know what? I live here in San Pedro, and I've only been there like 2 or 3 times.
Well, it's always so crowded. That's part of the problem with me. So you can never get a good table. But besides that, when you go on those off days, when you have a day off, and you go there in the morning or lunchtime, it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice place to hang out and relax.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways.
And they're rebuilding the whole area there, so I think just the fish market, maybe 1 or 2 are left open. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna get this whole new area there where we can go and enjoy more restaurants and music and just to hang out and socialize, right?
Yeah. Not only that, but San Pedro was also they film a lot of films here, a lot of movies.
Right.
You know, we had they filmed the movie Colors here with Sean Penn and Robert Duvall.
Yes.
But they film a lot of stuff here. I remember when John Travolta was here on they were filming Primary Colors on Pacific Street and
they did the other movie that did on my street around this area was The Lords of Dogtown.
Oh, that's right. Right across the street from your house. Right.
Yeah.
And was in I think America Ferrera was in that movie, right? She was one of the girlfriends, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because this one tree that I always walk down towards my aunt's house, going towards school and just hanging out with my cousins. Mm-hmm. This one tree that was really old and sappy and so forth. It came out in the movie. It's the scene where the guy and the girl they're chasing each other and they're going around the tree. That's the actual tree.
I hate that tree. I parked under that tree a lot of times, and I end up getting tree sap on my car.
Yeah, you've been here for how many years, and you still park there? What's wrong?
Well, the parking is horrible there.
You can't park in the alley too, because you're gonna get hit.
Oh,
or something's gonna happen.
I know. Yeah, but if you haven't been to San Pedro, it's definitely worth coming. Check it out. Check it out at least, for the food and.
We have some pretty good little sites too. We have the Battleships, the SS Victory Lane, and the what is it called again? The Iowa.
Yeah, the Iowa.
And those are amazing.
And Fort MacArthur.
Yeah, it's Fort MacArthur.
The failed episode.
We should talk about that episode and maybe try to reprise it later with some hidden video equipment.
I know. But, yeah, I don't know. It's today's episode's kind of complicated.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but you know what? One thing I wanted to talk to you about was, I don't know if you heard about this, but I don't know if it's a rumor, but it was online. How Universal is decided that they wanted to release their movies. With the whole thing going on right now. And
I read about this.
Yeah,
I actually saw the video of this. Yes.
Yeah, they had released Trolls right at the same time that it was supposed to be released in theaters, and
Trolls 2, right?
Trolls 2.
Yeah.
And so they released it online, to stream, and they did so well that they decided now, that they're gonna do their movies like that for now at least.
This was due to the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a lot of people indoors and they want to see something, and they're like, well, we're not going to take a chance with the movie theaters, in this case AMC, because they're the largest. Yeah. So we're going to make ours direct to streaming, not direct to video, but streaming. Mm-hmm. And it did so well that I guess AMC came out with a statement or whatever it was saying, we don't like this or something's going to happen, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, they said something, and NBC Universal did something else where they're going to release the Fast and Furious 1000 straight to video. And AMC, they got upset and they're like, we're not gonna release or show any more NBC Universal movies.
Yeah, so
ever in AMC.
Yeah, so I guess, it did so well. And you know what? I was one of those people that actually rented the movie Trolls 2 for my kids.
Right.
It was $20. It's like buying two movie tickets.
Yeah.
But so then AMC got upset and they're like, okay, well then we're gonna ban you. No more Universal movies in our theaters.
Right. Yeah.
So you know what? This kind of makes I don't know, it upsets me a little bit because I kind of like have a feeling now that this is gonna be the beginning of the end of movie theaters. Because if this works, I'm pretty sure other companies are gonna follow in the footsteps of Universal and be like, you know what, let's just do it like that. If we're still making the same amount of money and we're skipping the middleman, let's just do it. And that's the one thing I'm afraid of. Like, oh no, because when I was younger, my parents used to take me to the drive-ins. Right? Did you ever go to the drive-ins? You went to the drive-ins, right? When you were...
And yeah, I wanted to talk about that later on, but yes, I remember the drive-ins.
Yeah, so, I used to go to those every weekend with my parents, and, they came to an end. They went away. So now I'm thinking, oh man, is this going to be the end of movie theaters? Because that would suck, And I know a lot of the younger generations, they don't care. They'll watch the movies on a little tiny phone. But I can't do that. I built a big giant screen here. I have my projector, and you have a projector now. Because we're from that.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
We're from that era, where we used to like the bigger the better. And now it seems like it's just getting taught. Next thing, the kids are going to be watching movies on their watch. So,
well, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't turn out that way, But
well, I think maybe some good will come out of this, and again, this is probably due to the coronavirus and businesses wanting to eliminate the middleman, so their revenue would be high, right? I think one good thing that may come out of this is the return of drive-in theaters. That could be a possibility. Maybe a new evolutionary way of doing. A drive-in theater where instead of maybe the traditional ones will come back where you drive in and you park the car on a slope so that it's pointing up, and you put that little thing on your antenna and you tune into the right station and you see the movie. But maybe there will be an evolution of that where you just drive into any parking garage or whatever you want to call it, and you put your car in there, and there's already a projector there for you with high quality 7.2 or 9.2 sound going around.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm feeling, that maybe something will be born from the other's flaw or downfall.
Well, I hope you're right, because I'm thinking I'm thinking this is going the other way. Especially now that they have the virtual reality. Where you could actually put this thing on and you're like in a theater. A virtual theater, and you could actually watch the movies like that, and it feels like you're in a theater. So, we'll see. The VR thing did come, and there's Oculus Rift, and there's a HTC Vive, whatever. Mm-hmm. But people still want to go out there and do things. You can put on a VR headset and go to Disneyland, but it's not going to be the actual Disneyland. It's not going to be all those noises. But you know what? The thing is, I actually got one of those VR, what do they call it? VR Go, right? Which is like a lower budget of the VR Quest. And I actually tried it, because somebody was playing the Avengers, I think it was. And, you put this thing on and you walk with the controller into the theater, and then you go into the theater and you see other people that are that are also wearing these things, and they're sitting on the rows, and they could wave to you and they could talk to you, so it's kind of like you're in the theater. But it was actually cool because they actually had a different room where you could actually play music. A person was playing music videos on their computer or something, because it must have been a different kind of VR headset, and he's playing 80s music videos on the screen. So I go in there, I go into the theater, and everybody's like dancing, standing up, dancing and stuff. And I even caught myself doing that. I was like, "Oh, this is like a party."
Well, that's one of the many pluses, is that you get to socialize, especially with people that you find something in common with. In this case, it was 80s music, and I have nothing. I won't reject the technology. I think that's pretty cool. It's like I haven't rejected, going online with Instagram and doing all these cool little things and whatever. But still, maybe it's just me, because when I was a teenager or until now, just stepping into a theater, especially in this case, the Warner Grand Theater, and watching a movie there, there's nothing going to be
Well, see,
it's
that's
gonna be.
yeah, that's the thing that I think that's more of like that was from our time, you know.
Yeah.
And when we love stuff like that.
Right.
But I think the newer generations, my kids, they watch shows on their, you know, I actually bought a Roku for their TV so they could watch YouTube and everything, Disney Plus on their television, but they'd still just rather be on their phones, you know, looking at movies and stuff, which I guess it's okay. You know, things have to change.
Right.
We're gonna be like that little old man. Get off my lawn, kids.
But then, I mean, I guess it's just me. I'm very hopeful for the future, and then there are those young groups of people that say, "Hey, let's share these movie things and ideas." So there is that small little cluster that are still movie buffs and are still willing to go out and go to the theater and enjoy a good, decent movie from a good director and in a very cinematic style as in the theater. Just like there's people out there collecting, like you used to collect laser discs. There's people out there like me that collect LPs, vinyl records. There's just going to be that little niche.
Yeah.
So it's still gonna
but
be
I mean,
even they're going to be just as the same age as your daughters and your son, or maybe even younger.
Well, see, that's the thing, because my daughter, one of her friends came, you know, before all this coronavirus stuff happened, and she came over to the house, and I have a nice collection of Blu-rays inside the house, and she's all like, "What are all these for?" And I'm all like, "Well, they're movies." And she's like, "But why do you have them here? Like, you could just stream them." So I'm thinking, you know,
exactly.
Everything I have now is gonna eventually become trash. But
no, don't get rid of it.
I'll never get rid of it.
You know why, right? Because if this whole thing goes crazy with Corona and the farms and network and everything goes down, at least you'll still be able to pop in that disc and watch a movie without internet or anything like that.
That's true.
I think that's the great thing about it.
Yeah,
that's the great thing about it.
Hey, unless you know, you look kind of blurry right now, but unless it happens like the, what do you call it, the Twilight Zone? Remember that episode where the guy he goes in the safe, and then like they drop an atomic bomb, and then he comes out and he loves to read books, and he's all like, "Finally, I have all the time in the world," and he drops his glasses and steps on them.
I remember that episode clearly because it's very sad.
So I'm thinking the same thing. You know, the internet goes out and everything, and I'm like, yes, you know, I still have all my movies, and then my Laserdisc player breaks. Yeah.
That's why we gotta get them transferred, every single frame, into a piece of paper, and then you just flip the paper, and you can.
You know what? I remember doing that when I was a kid. Getting the little tiny notebooks.
Yeah, and go get it.
Yeah. You know what?
Animation that you draw there.
You know what I used to draw? I used to draw the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Ooh.
Like I would draw it like the wheels like turning, and it's like starts taking off and takes off flying.
And you draw little sparks around it, but it's already going through time.
Roads where we're going, we don't need roads. Yeah.
So back to San Pedro. I mean, we have that Warner Grand Theater, and I think that's still amazing.
Oh, I know.
There used to be another old theater back in the day, way back in the day, and that was the Fox Theater, and that was pretty neat too, similar to like the Warner Grand, but it got demolished, and I'm very, very, very happy that the Warner Grand still stands.
Yeah.
I got scared. Was it a couple of years ago when there was that fire next door to it? There was a fire that burned down. It used to be the Salvation Army, but then it became a CrossFit, and then I forgot what it is. They have some machinery for some sort of like a wheat stuff on the other side. Anyway, something happened where that little section got on fire, and I thought the Warner Grand was going to go down with it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And I'm kind of happy that old building has bricks on the side, and that kept the heat off of it, and it only affected those smaller buildings on the side.
Well, you know what? Speaking of the Warner Grand. They actually say the Warner Grand Theater is haunted too. So much
for the not so paranormal episode.
I know. I always come back to the haunted stuff. But yeah, you know what? I have a buddy that works there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he's still there. But he was telling me that I guess they had done some remodeling, and they ended up finding these secret doors in the theater, and that supposedly they would hear like people talking in there and footsteps and stuff. Who knows? I mean, who knows if it's true? But
I've heard of that also, and my relatives and some friends have said that there's actually little tunnels down there, and one of them leads to a restroom in the middle of nowhere underneath the underground. So it's like really odd thing to find in tunnels underneath that area.
Hey Carlitos, is your internet kind of going off or something? Because I could hear you fine, but you look like all pixelated.
As long as you can hear me, that's fine. If you can see me, you're not missing much.
We're not getting you in full HD.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're going back in time here, so
Yeah.
480 is good.
We're going back to 480i.
480 interlaced. Ooh, gross.
and two channel sound.
210 sound, yes. Mono, not even stereo.
Yeah, but I don't know, Carlitos. I don't. Do you have anything else to talk about, or are we gonna end this?
Well, we can talk about
this episode
we
early.
Can talk about the little cemetery experience at Whiskey
that's
Dog.
right.
We can talk about that.
That's right.
Well, it's so much for the not so paranormal.
But you know what?
Huh?
What I was gonna tell you, the thing is, how are you gonna? Because I know you know, with your high tech technology, you're gonna show some of these pictures. But the thing is, you look like super pixelated, so I don't know if these pictures are gonna. I don't know if they're gonna come out good. Let's try. Let's put some of these.
Super pixelated. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if they come out.
Let's go here to see what we have. Hold on a second, okay?
Yeah.
Let me just so this little page here.
Yeah. So what we're gonna be sharing right now is some of the footage that Chrissy, aka Whiskey Doll, captured at that cemetery that we were talking about on the last episode 14, where she went to a cemetery and they captured these handprints on the vehicle, and then there was actually a picture of a arm of a ghost, right? A female ghost.
Yes.
So
yes. Let's see
if it works out.
And let me know how it looks. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
How does this look? Can you see anything there? Not much, huh?
Yeah, no, I see the car, but I can't see I can't see the handprints.
So if you can zoom in, you can see a little bit of handprints here.
Okay.
There's some smudges here. So the story is that they went to a cemetery somewhere in what's it called, Acton, or I forget the name of the place.
Yeah. And you know what?
The cemetery.
Go ahead.
Is off the I guess in Acton. We couldn't find the actual name of it, but they went to the cemetery. They left their car behind, and when they came back, there were all these fingerprints everywhere. There's a few here that you can see smudged over, and you can think that maybe someone's playing a practical joke.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go back here. Hold on a second. Go back here, and here you see a handprint. Can you see that?
Kind of.
Oh,
you know what this reminds me of? Like when people capture pictures of UFOs and they look all blurry.
Oh no!
But in reality, you know what? In reality, these pictures look really clear. It's just that we're having some technical issues right now. But yeah, right here. No, yeah, right here you can see the handprints.
So we'll just put them on the video. This doesn't matter right now. We'll just put them on the video.
So right now, So what Carlos is gonna do, he's gonna actually add the pictures right here at this point.
You can see it nice and clear. Mm-hmm. And here's more handprints. And I believe they said that there was nobody around, right, when they went to the cemetery.
Yeah, there was nobody else there.
There was nobody else there. So when they came back, they found these handprints. There's a couple of fingers here. Looks like they were opening the door and kind of getting inside by looking at these handprints on the right. Some people say it could be the residue from the oil of your hands, but I mean, if that were the case, wouldn't there be handprints all over the place, even around the handles on the right there on the chrome handle and all that?
Yeah. I mean, not only that, but the way the handprints are the way they're facing down, which is nobody touches a car upside down, kind of.
Yeah, unless they're facing out and looking away from the car, but they had to open the car. That's the crazy thing about it. Yeah. Let's go back to that original picture here. You can see this is the first one that I showed. Yeah, this like weird because there's only like fingers here, and I think that's kind of odd.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's funny is that this cemetery is in the same town of that place we were talking about last week, the Gravity Hill. You know, where the cars get pushed by the spirit kids.
Okay.
Episode 14. Watch it.
So they're pretty convincing that someone was around the car and touching it.
Mm-hmm.
But the real freaky picture that kind of threw me off, and you have to agree with me on this one, not Tony.
Oh yeah.
Is the last one, the third one, and it's something else. And here's okay. So here we go. Let me zoom in here to Chrissy. And she's taking a picture here with her flash, and she's pointing out. So you can see her pointing here, and here's Chrissy and her doll, or whiskey doll, right?
Yeah, whiskey doll.
And her boyfriend's right there to our left, her right. But there were only two people there, just them both. Mm-hmm. And here on the left side, you can see a hand coming out.
Yeah.
Like tapping her or
yeah,
kind of like saying here you are, or whatever it is with that left hand.
And the thing is, you could tell it's not her boyfriend's hand because of the way the thumb is.
You can zoom in a little bit more on her. You guys can see that right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like clear. I mean, just why is this so detailed, and why is it there? And there was only two people there.
Yeah. And you know what? Even the hand looks kind of almost like real skinny, huh? Like a real skinny arm and.
Yes, because it's a female's hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's a woman's hand, and you can tell by the thumb, the little bit of the thumb area, and then, like you said, the wrist area there, where the vein comes through the wrist. And
you know what? Another thing I was gonna tell you, that just by the size of the hand looks pretty big. You could tell that this spirit or person is like, it's a tall person.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm not an expert, but
yeah,
that's just what I think.
This person would probably be taller than even her boyfriend.
Yeah. And you know what? That's one thing she had mentioned, that the hand is way too low to be, even anybody. I don't know. It's really strange. And you know what? I can't wait to get her in here to actually tell us herself exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
But that hand looks so natural. It's
very good picture.
Right.
Shout out to Whiskey Doll.
Yes. To Whiskey Doll.
Yeah, thank you for the pictures. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for the contribution. I wish you knew a little bit more about the cemetery, and maybe do a little bit more research on what's happened there. Whoa, I'm sorry.
Well, the thing is, you know what? I actually spoke to her through Messenger, and she actually said that she was willing to go back with us to go do an investigation.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So, hopefully soon. the technician having technical problems.
No, I'm good. I just need to take a little break in a moment. So I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're done for today, Carlos.
Oh yeah, definitely. We had a pretty good little talk. We ranted a little bit, but it's always nice to talk about our hometown, about this cool little city, charismatic city we have here, and hopefully, things improve with Corona and our city.
You know what? Speaking about our town, they're gonna be. I don't know if you saw this on Facebook. They're gonna be opening Joseph's Bakery up, I think, next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
Get some of that good pizza.
Okay. Little pizza slice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
But anyways, all right. Well, like always, Carlos, thanks for being on this episode with me again.
Yes. I can't wait to come back and be in the studio.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I can't wait to go and do some investigations. That's what I'm waiting for.
You do the investigation, and I'll be over here editing. How about that?
Yeah, I can't wait to be out in the field and do some EVPs and all the good stuff.
Definitely.
But yeah, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Episode 15, the not so paranormal episode. Any shout outs you want to do before we end?
No, not at this time, but if I have any links, I'll put them down below in the description, and I'll show you guys down there, okay?
Yeah, and you know what? I do want to do one shout out before we go. This is to Esther Adame for being one of our top fans. for watching our episode. She said she loves them, so thank you, Estela Dame. But anyways, guys, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, abuelita.